Designing good performance tasks is like making a great dinner. You've got to get the ingredients right, and then you've got to cook everything right. So let's use that analogy. Our ingredients in step one for our performance task are the knowledge, skills, and attitudes or other attributes that we want to build into the task activity. And for this step, it's important to firstly, be clear about the content knowledge, the key concepts, principles, procedures, skills that are essential for understanding performance in real-world applications. These will come from your module document, course document, program document, essentially the syllabus. I think it's always useful to identify the types of thinking that are important in these task activities, the building understanding and competence. That's because thinking is not typically visible. So to actually spell out to students that you want them to do certain things like to generate possibilities, analyze, compare and contrast, those kind of key thinking skills, it's worth identifying what you want and spelling these out. Also, there may be other process skills and other attributes, maybe to do with attitudinal components, things like team working, managing learning, these kind of things that we want to build in to our task. That's our ingredients. Now, step two is, well, you're doing the cooking, you're producing the task. So it's important that the actual task does involve the application of your ingredients and knowledge, skills and attitudes that relate to your particular course or module. And the task itself should be challenging, but realistically challenging, and also realistically achievable in terms of the student's prior competence, access to resources and time frame. It's a kind of Goldilocks task that if it's too easy, the students get bored. If it's too difficult, they're going to get frustrated. It takes a bit of skill in getting this right. The actual completion of the task is not purely procedural. There's not one correct answer or one correct way of doing it. There has to be some thinking involved beyond following a pure procedure. Now, it's a big area. How much guidance and structure do you provide students? Well, my advice is that with students who are less familiar with doing these kind of performance tasks and projects, often takes the form of projects, is give them more structure and guidance earlier. Once they become familiar with what's expected, then they can do more of this in their own ways. But I think it's pretty useful to identify the products of the task, the formats of presentation, what they have to do, and the parameters in the activity is individual collaborative choice. And, as I said, spell out the types of thinking and other desired outcomes. And the basic framework of the assessment for the task. What's the process? What's the criteria? Again, this can be worked out to the context of your student. But here's my best recipe. I hope it's useful.